And between her sister, her mother, and I, she's happy because she's around people that she loves. And so I said, if there's anything, so I was up there from 9, right after work, till 11:30 in the morning. 9, 10, 2.5 to 3 hours.
You were up at the DCFS
It's the DSF, yeah. He was checking, they've got all the information, what's going on. They got the information, he was telling me things that happened when you were living up there. You know, that the neighbors used to call the cops. And the guy that came here, he was one that used to come up on Grove, this colored guy. So he remembers your mother. Oh my goodness.
What's that for?
Where did you get that? Thank you. Oh, that goes to my lamp over there.
Did it break or did he take it out?
He took it. No, it was in there. But I can't lose it. I gotta fix that. Is he got the drawer open? That's okay. Let him play with it. I'll find it. And so, you know, they have all the information. You know, the lady next door, every time something would go on into the house, she would call the DFS. Do you know
The
that?
DCFS?
Yeah, the DCFS, you know, and so, and there were a lot of times that Grandpa came up at 11:30, 12 o'clock to pick you kids up. Your mother would call, she said, she was crying, she said, Mom, please come and get the kids. Tommy's on a rampage, and he was throwing stuff out the door, and she wanted me to go get you kids. That's why you came here. And I said, Myron, get up, honey, we gotta go get the kids. He had to go to work the next day, but he always got up, he always helped out when he could. And so another time, I went up there and all the clothes, everything was outside. And the neighbors naturally called the DFS. So another time, huh?
The DCFS?
The CEF,
D. The Department of Children and Family
or
Services.
the DC,
FS.
SS, oh, DC, D,
DCFS.
DC,
FS.
S,
Yeah.
DCFS. Okay, I should remember that. So anyways, that time, I know it was on a Friday, and I always wash my hair on Friday morning, and it was about 11 o'clock or so. The phone rings, and I was working outside, and your mother called. She said, she was crying, yelling. I said, Mary, what the heck's the matter? She said, Mom, they're taking my children. Mom, they're taking my... I said, who's taking your children? That's CFS.
DCFS, yeah. Yeah.
So I said, I'll be right there. I came up, there was a policeman there, and there were the ladies with the car, and but your father and your mother couldn't come out. They had to stay in the house, but they were looking through the window, and they wouldn't let them come out. So I said to the cop, where are you taking my grandchildren? And he said, they're taking them down here to that place on Grand Avenue.
Yeah, the office.
The office. We're taking them to the office. And I said, well, no, they're not. I said, they're going home with me. he said, you can't take them home. You can go down there if you want to see them. So I followed them down there. And I remember so clearly, Isabel was in diapers. You know, it was, how old is Isabel? So it was 14 years or 15 years. She was in diapers and she was walking towards me. And one was crying. She said, no, we want to go home. And poor Ronnie was young too. He said, no, we want to go home. I said, you're going to come home. And I told the lady, I said, you know, they're going home with me. And she said, well, you can take care of the 6 children. I said, yes, I can. I said, I've had them before. On weekends, I used to let your mom and dad go somewhere, and you kids would stay here to give them a break, you know, away from the children. And so I said, they've got bunk beds. I said, we've got places to sleep. The only thing I don't have is diapers for the baby, for Isabel. But I said, my husband will go get them when he comes home. But she gave me some diapers, because they had diapers there, I guess. She gave me some to tie me over, you know. And so then Grandpa went to buy them, and you stayed here, you know, till things got settled. Then your father said he was going to change, and Mary moved out of the house and stayed here. And he said, come on back, and she said, no, I'm not coming back. And he would take her out and bring her flowers. He was sorry, but that didn't last very long either. They were just back fighting again. So anyways, that's the way it went. But I remember at that time, Isabel, she was small. So that was the time that I
Mom
had.
was pregnant.
You were?
Mom was pregnant, right? With Tommy.
Yes.
So Isabel was in diapers and Mom was pregnant with Tommy.
Yeah. Every year she had a child. Every year, just a year apart. That's all he wanted, was to have children. And he said, that's our deductions. Deductions, you poor kids, they grew up, and every time I came over, you kids were always in the bedroom. Fighting, you couldn't move around in there. I said, those poor kids. And I remember I used to go up to help take laundry home and bring it back, you know, so I could help your mother, so she could have time with you kids. And from school, I'd go straight up there and I'd wash the kitchen, the bathroom, and downstairs. I said, what's going on down there? I said, it looks like a damn bar. He had tequila, he had bottles of stuff out, and I said, the kids, and then there was a gun on the coffee table. I said, what's that gun do? I'm afraid of guns. And I said, what's that gun doing down there on the table? She said, Tommy was on a rampage and he just wants his gun there. So anyways, I was afraid that he would use it, you know, when you're drunk or something. So anyways, your mother said to me, take this home. I said, Mary, I'm not going to take that gun home. She said, please, Mom, I don't want him to get a hold of it. So I took it home, but I didn't have the case. So I kept it here, and I put it way up high that nobody could get to it. But I didn't have a case, and I put it in something. So when your Uncle Richard used to come over, you know what I mean? I said, Mary, I wish you'd get that gun and take it home. She said, no, I'm not going to take it home. Well, that was after your father died. You know what I mean? And so I said, I just don't want it in the house. And she said, please keep it here. I said, okay. She said, Tommy got it from his brother Richard. You know, it was Richard's gun, and he gave it to your dad.
Why did he do that?
I don't know. He wanted the gun, and Richard gave him that gun. So one time, he, you know, when he goes and see Walida, he would stop by to see you kids, because you were here. So one time I told him, I said, Richard, I said, you know what? I said, Tommy had a gun, and Mary told me that you're not taking all this down, are you? I hope not. I said, I hope you'll take it. I don't have the cover for it, but Tommy had it out, and she was afraid that he would use it because he was drinking. And I said, I wish you'd take it. So he took it home, the gun, and he's got it. But I didn't have the case. Later on, I found the case, or your mother found it, and of clothes that she brought here when she moved. It was in with the clothes, some clothes in a basket. And I said, oh, there's that cover. So I put the on the side, and I don't know if Richard ever got it. I don't think so, because I never saw him after that, you know. But he was mean. I mean, you know, he wasn't, you know, whenever he wanted to see the children, I said, you can come anytime, you can call him anytime, and you were always welcome to use the phone. Now, he puts a restraining order if we call him, and that's why I don't like to make problem for the children. That's why I don't want to go, because Richard will take it out on the kids. But I wanted to go, and I told him, I said, I hope that we can have visitation right, you know, with her. But he told me, he said, she's with a very nice family, and she'll be going to the same school.
Yeah.
And what are you doing? Oh, you're all right. Yeah, did you hurt your finger? You can't hurt yourself with that. You're all right. Are you hungry? Mommy, he wants the other side. Oh, poor Mommy. Never, you don't have to run around the block. You got enough right there. You little tumble turd. Yeah. He lets you know when he's hungry. Mm-hmm. So I was glad that she, I was kind of worried. He said, it isn't that she, you know, with you, she said there's a lot of gangs there in North Chicago, which is true. And she said she's in a better area.
Yeah.
And she said she'll be going to the same school. And I was happy for that, because I didn't like the idea of her going to school right here.
Yeah.
You know, it's a better school out there. Since she's got 2 years, she can do it and graduate. And I think that in the long run, it's the best thing for her if we can have visitation right, keep her happy. Maybe they let her spend some time with her. Maybe they'll let her come here. I don't know what's going to happen. But things will work out. They will work out. I know they will. Mm-hmm. Linda said, Mom, she always asked, even yesterday, she said, how is Isabel? She said, you know what? I would adopt her. I said, oh, Linda, she said. I said, you can adopt her. She said, yes, I could. And I said, well,
Really?
you know. But
I think that would be the best thing. Aunt Linda adopting her?
that's what she said. But I don't know. she's got so much with with the kids. Katie and
But
now,
they're all grown, working on their own, having their own places.
yeah. So, you know, Katie is going to Lake County and working, and she met this young man. I guess he's got a real good job, and she said she likes him a lot. So I don't know what. They came to see me, but I wasn't home. Or I was sleeping and I didn't hear them. That was it. And Linda said they knocked and they couldn't get in.